Hello, Masood. Thank you for bringing Graham here. Tell us what Graham is about to do. It's a fantastic to have an international star in Spice FM.
We are very lucky that Graham is here with you now.
Yes.
He served for Durham for so long, for local community, local clubs.
And isn't he doing something of a charity thing?
That's right. It's for a good cause. So everybody, especially our Asian community businesses, everybody, young kids.
On Friday
the
25th of September.
Okay, it's a charity dinner.
So yes, it's a dinner that's got two obviously legends of the game in Jimmy Anderson and Stuart Broad. And it's basically I'm trying to raise some money for four amazing charities. The charity very close to my heart is the Special Care Baby Unit at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital.
Skubu, yeah.
So that's I mean both my children were born into that. So
right.
So it's something I really want to try and push and try and get as many people as I can.
Fantastic. So, I mean, I'll be there anyway with you at your table. So I'm so glad.
It's a pleasure to go there, because I know Graham. He's a lovely guy. I met first time Graham when he was playing for Bladen Cricket Club against us.
I met him the first time he's playing for Spice FM.
But after that, one of my colleague, right, he was playing for our club and his wife's funeral was there. So I was very inspired. Graham was superstar that time.
Wow.
And he went to the funeral whole day. Paul,
drinking, that's right.
So when he approached me, I said, yeah, definitely, Graham.
So on Monday coming, we are doing a promotional show,
right,
on Spice FM.
On Spice FM.
To which you have to come. Graham obviously is there. You have to come. And Wheelchair Steve, who recognized him immediately, says, I'd like to be sitting in the show. So anyone who can fit in the studio is welcome to come and see Graham. Yeah. But most importantly, do please book in for Friday 25th September. What time is it, Graham?
It'll be a 7:30 start, and it'll be until
the wee hours of the morning.
Late, until late. So it'll be a fantastic night. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I will be here at Spice FM on Monday. This Monday, if people want to come along and
contribute, chat, whatever.
Just have a chat. Yeah, have a
phone, get a signature.
Absolutely.
Bring your cricket bats for signature. Yes.
No problem at all.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Sick of the same old radio sound? Then you need vibrant radio. Spice up your life. Spice FM 98.8 FM.
You might think that this is music from the Mela. Actually, it is music from Graham Onions. Not to be confused with the onions we are used to cooking with, are we? A very good afternoon to all of you. This is Graham Onions in front of me, and there is Steve next to him. Welcome to the show, Graham.
Thank you very much.
Tell us about your name. How many years have you had it in the family? I mean, the genealogy type of thing.
You would think a name like mine, I would actually try and find out a little bit more detail about it, but
doesn't everyone tell you?
I've had plenty of Mickey. The
Mickey take it out.
Yeah, absolutely. I've had enough of it. But no, I think it's obviously a unique name. It's something that I'm actually quite proud of. I mean, obviously, when I was a kid and growing up, and you know what kids are like, they kind of they do take the Mickey a little bit, but I'm used to it now, and I suppose I've got to pass it on to my kids now. And
well, how do you
we call cheese hand at school?
Oh, all the time, yeah, cheesing and pickled and all that kind of stuff. And, it's amazing. But no, it's a name that thankfully I've done quite well with in the cricket and.
Anything happens to you, so they make a joke out of it.
When you retire, there'll be the brand is there to do all sorts. They'll have onions T-shirts. They'll have onions.
Yes.
Whatever you want to do.
Yes. Well, at the moment in India, onions have become very expensive for whatever reason.
Yes.
Monsoon, this, that, hoarding, black marketing. You know what we Indians are up to. So they're sending 1,000 tons of onion every single day from Afghanistan through Pakistan, through Wagah border into India.
Onions brings peace to the world.
Yes.
See, that's a headline.
Yes, onion brings peace to the world.
That's it.
And the other things, politics and religion brings tears to our eyes. It should be the other way around. Politics and at least religion should bring smiles on our faces.
Yes.
In fact, I saw a cartoon. This Indian man had gone and bought a chicken. And the chicken was staring back at him. The fellow says, aren't you scared? I'll be killing you and cooking you. He says, ha, you got me. Let me see you buy a few onions. Then we'll see.
I'm a bit worried where this show's going. Is this just going to be taking the mickey out of Graham Onions again?
No.
No, it's taking it with everybody.
Well, Graham, you were born September the 9th.
That's right,
So your birthday is coming up.
Coming up soon, yeah.
Aha.
So I know that you've obviously got a cake for me. That's
Yeah, with the bat
yeah.
sticking out of it.
Yeah.
Or a cake shaped like a ball. In fact, why don't you do it on the 25th? What's happening on the 25th? Steve, read it out.
Well, I got to know about this event last week, and one of the reasons the doc invited me in today, it's Graham's benefit year. A lot of cricketers have a benefit year, moving towards the twilight, let's call it. I'm sure there's a few years left in your year.
You're like Alan Shearer going to sell bats and t-shirts and
that's
all
what
that.
it is.
You have a kind of benefit year, and lots of different events for different charities, don't you? And how do you make a few quid yourself?
Yeah, we do.
I mean, the idea?
Basically over the course of the year, I mean, I've been very proud and privileged that I've been part of Durham County Cricket Club for well over 10 years now, and you get to a stage where the members write in and they give you a testimonial in football or benefit in cricket, and throughout the year you are be pretty much in a privileged position to raise money for some amazing charities. And I'll just briefly go you through my charities.
Take it time. It's important to know.
I mean, we have the PCA Benevolent Fund, which is helping past and present cricketers, who go through tough times, whether or not that's drink problems or serious illness.
So I thought drink was for football.
Or gambling.
I thought drinking
drink a lot, because when they're only in batting for a little time, and
I didn't know that there were Gazas in.
Doing out to get on the beer.
Yeah, but I didn't know there were Gazas in cricket.
Oh, not quite. There's a few, but I can't name them.
But do they get drunk on champagne?
Don't tune off. 1 o'clock we'll start revealing the drinky ball.
So
we know Freddie Flintoff does, because we've seen him. Yeah, well, and he does it, but
but obviously, the PCA Benevolent Fund, we've got Steve Cram's charity, which is Coco.
What's his charity do? Steve Cram, the runner.
He's the runner, who's obviously from the northeast.
Also from Gateshead.
Comrades of children overseas. Yeah, he is. Yeah, obviously one of the best athletes we've had in the northeast.
Yes.
He obviously supports children in Ethiopia and Africa to give them
very big in that.
to give them some education. So I'm very proud to obviously be supporting them. We obviously got the Sir Bobby Robson Foundation
for cancer,
which is cancer. Unfortunately, my auntie.
And it's football.
That's football.
So I'm just to say you're taking all the different disciplines.
Well, yeah, it is. Yeah. I mean, Sir Bobby Robson, I'm a Newcastle fan, absolute legend of the northeast. Everybody
you don't like Sunderland, do you?
So
you don't like Sunderland.
I've got to be careful what I say.
You can't pick the signal up in Sunderland.
Okay.
No, but I mean, Sir Bobby Robson Foundation is an amazing organisation that tries to cure cancer or give opportunities to try and cure cancer, and everyone in their life is touched by cancer. My auntie,
somebody who has cancer.
My auntie died of cancer, and it's something that I'm really trying to push and to help really. And every little helps. And I think the one really close to my heart, quite an emotional one for me, is my two children, Oliver and Esme.
How old are they?
Oliver is 2.5 now, and Esme is just 6 months now, so she's just starting to get onto some solid foods. But she and
both came through special care baby unit. You were telling me.
They did, yeah. It was a real tough time, but a time where
your heart is wrenched. You think what will happen?
Yeah.
The poor little mites, and they're your own babies. They're not any babies. Rouse the spirit in us.
And which hospital is that, Graham?
So
which hospital is it?
That's the QE.
Oh, the
Queen Elizabeth Hospital at Gateshead. So I mean, I was born there, and Oliver was born first, obviously, and he went through a few problems, and then obviously Esme had the same problem, and it's the hardest thing in the world, obviously,
your own child suffering with tubes here, tubes there.
Yeah, and it's just not very nice. Not very nice. But I can't thank, during a tough time, I can't thank the people at the QE Hospital enough, really. They made a tough time slightly easier, and I basically want to try and help them to raise as much money as they can.
We slate the NHS, but you step out of Britain and you'll find out how good it was. You just go one day out of, even into Spain. Even in Spain, I had patients, Steve, for women getting urine infections. What do you take? 3 tablets, 1 tablet twice a day for 3 days, trimethoprim. That's all. Costs pennies and it cures 99%. They were getting injections because the doctor was making money. Tennis elbow, being a sportsman, you would know about tennis elbow. Nobody operates on it. All you do is give an injection. This woman was operated, but I bet they just cut the skin.
Just
charge
a
money. And
symbolic-
this is Spain, never mind
symbolic,
India.
yeah.
So, there's a lot of that. But, you remind me of a very interesting thing. Dhoni, the famous cricketer from India, he's from a small town. He's not one of the Bombay Walas or Delhi Walas where all the big stuff happens, or the English medium schools where you got proper pads. And these guys just had 3 marks on the wall with chalk, and they took a piece of wood and a bouncy ball and they started that. So you remind me of that because you come from sunny Gateshead. How do you do it, Because I thought cricket was a gentleman's club from Yorkshire, all the rich farmers' kids, they did that.
Well,
stuff.
Durham's probably broken that mould,
Yes.
I would have thought, because it was the sort of tops of Surrey and all that sort of
Yes.
stuff years ago, and
Yes, that's what I'm
Grace
thinking.
and all these.
Exactly.
Whereas now, Durham now was sort of, the most recent club, I mean, going back, is it 20 years or so now, Durham?
Yeah, I mean, Durham are going, about 20 years, and they've had such amazing success, really. I mean,
yeah,
phenomenal.
it's come from nothing.
If you go from cricket to football, that the amount of people like Jeff Cook in particular and Dave Harker at Durham, and they've pushed and promoted players who have played for England.
It's
is
gained
amazing.
profile. I think obviously north of the Tyne, like where I'm from, is
It's about
suppose
self-image.
Northumberland's the team. Really,
Isn't it about
which-
self-image, Steve?
Well,
I mean,
it's-
you started so many speakers
Well,
club.
I think most people up this area, irrespective of whether you're in Newcastle or Sunderland or in Durham or wherever, will relate to Durham as the local team.
Yes,
in
of course.
Cricket sense,
Yes,
because
yes.
it's the only one that's a proper northeast cricket team, as opposed
Yes.
to. There is a Northumberland, but it's minor counties. But,
Yes, yes,
there's
exactly.
nothing else. So I certainly consider Durham. I go when I can to see games. I've seen some good games there. I've seen some rubbish as well, but it's rough with the smooth, isn't it?
But the bigger point I was making is that the north is considered the poor part of this country.
Well, I would
Middlesbrough,
would suspect
Newcastle.
that's it. I mean, the
image is
football
there.
teams you're not expected to do well, So I would have thought, yeah, we'll let them in.
So
we'll
live
let them in
down to the expectations.
Token,
Yes.
token
No,
northeast
I mean,
team.
on that point, I think it's a really good, valid point, and that you make, really. But I think what the people from the northeast do is they maybe take that, like what you've said, and maybe what the southerners think of the northerners,
And we'll show them. Like Billy Elliot.
100%.
Billy
What a
Elliot from
movie!
Sweet Shields.
Amazing movie.
Yes.
And they really kind of think, right, I'm
Yes.
going to show them grit and determination, and we want to succeed. We want to.
But that's
How much do you think it was down to like Ian Botham coming for that time? Do you think that put it on the map that somebody like him could sort of link himself with Durham, because he's not from Raleigh, he was
No, he's not.
He's a Yorkshire
somewhere,
gentleman.
But whenever he comes up, he loves the place.
Oh, he always says when he's
Absolutely loves it.
commentating, he says it's great ground, Durham, and it is.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is.
it's a nice. I mean, it's not as big as some of them. Shame we didn't get a game against Aussies this year. I think it's a pity because they're playing at Cardiff again today. Well, they've had a test match already, so
Yeah, well,
There is a phone call already.
Oh,
Hello,
already?
caller. Who's that, please?
Hello, Dr. Saab.
Who else could it be but
It's,
Zafar Bhatti? So what are you bringing for us? Onion bhaji.
Gonna be something onion you've made.
Are you bringing onion bhaji? We got Graham Onion here.
You got onion bhajis?
I've got some couple of pakoras. Well, go on, I'll bring you the pakora. I'm going to BBC, actually, I'm giving that to Sue Sweeney.
What are you talking about?
Don't say
BBC is such
Wheelchair
an
Steve.
important place. It's like,
Don't mention Wheelchair Steve if you go there.
Sue Sweeney.
oh, never mind Sue Sweeney. We got Graham Onions. You bring onions here.
Don't say Wheelchair Steve if you go to BBC. He's not allowed.
All right. Okay, we are here till 1:30. Do come in. Please come in and meet the gentleman. Come on. Ajao.
Okay, I'll come over about 1 o'clock.
And
Okay.
we enjoyed the Zaffa pie last week.
Yes, and same here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. He made a shepherd's pie out of chicken.
Yeah.
He's a character and a half, He used to drive taxis, not ride them, just drive them. He used to say to people, where do you want to go and why do you want to go? Now, how many English taxi drivers would have the gall and the shame? And he would entertain them and chat with them. He said, most people sit at the back, single people, and get bored to tears.
Yeah.
I entertain them. And he says, if you can solve this riddle, I won't charge you.
Oh, no.
He just keeps teasing and entertaining.
It's like me saying, "Oh, can you take us to Gates?" And you say, "No, you don't want to go there. You don't want to go there."
Well, that's how he drives the buses. They go
Yeah.
northeast from Gateshead now. That's what he does. He's working. So whether he's working the day or not, I
Right,
don't
okay.
know.
I've just put Graham Onions in Google and I've got 3 pages of it. Do you own Google? 4 pages of it. You know, if you go, people pay money to be optimized, search engine optimized. God, he's on 5 pages Is there anything on Google except Graham Onions? Please never put Graham Onions on Google.
Can we go back to talking about this benefit, because we started doing that, then we went through all these charities, and then we didn't go back, and we deviated off, and suddenly it's 1:30 and we haven't even mentioned one of the main things we hear. The stuff that this big event, and this one is particularly for the baby unit, is it? This particular
baby unit.
Yeah, I mean, throughout the year, I'm obviously what you generally do in a benefit year, and it's quite important that we understand this, is that throughout the year you try and raise as much money as you can, of course, ultimately for myself and my charities. Now it's important that when you get that pot towards the end, then you give the money towards the charities that you want, and of course I've chose the 4. Me and my committee will decide on who.
So you put a whole lot of money in, then you spread out.
But understandably, I mean, obviously the QE hospital are very close to my heart.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you what I'm reading on this poster that's going out, which is it's a great evening. I'm going to hopefully go, and I'm getting a few people to go that I've already spoken to. An evening with Graham Onions, Stuart Broad and Jimmy Anderson, plus special guests. Who are the special guests?
We've got some of the Durham players. We've also got Mark Wood. Yeah, that's right, Collie and
Mark Wood.
Mark Wood and Ben Stokes, who are local lads who are Ashes winners now.
Yes, so that'll be good. There'll be lots of stuff about. So that's a great talk and show that they go along. Tickets including food, £40, VIP, which gives you a chance to meet and greet with the players. There's auctions, raffles, entertainment. It sounds a good night. Friday 25th of September, the Lancastrian Suite, that's in Dunstan,
the old brewery, Fed Brewery,
that's right,
next to the Metro Centre.
So can I put this stuff about the tickets? If you want tickets, you contact Tracy on 07970 485 979.
07970 485 979, or backwards it's 979 584.
Or you can send an email to Graham Onions Benefit 2015 at outlook.com.
Graham Onions, not onion.
Yes, there's lots of onions.
Okay. On the 10th of August, you were in the Evening Chronicle as well. Where were you sitting? In Gateshead Civic Centre, was it? Because it looks like a nice couch, but the back wall behind
right,
outside wall.
That might have been my opening event at the Vermont Hotel. That's right, yeah.
All right.
So that was like a champagne reception.
So you're all over the place, like.
You
don't rest very much.
Not bad.
I have been here. I've been here from 1978, man. I've been longer here than you have been.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when it comes to a benefit, you basically have a year to promote your events, and I just basically want to try and raise as much money as I can for 4 great causes.
Well, we can promise you that Spice is always at your service.
Fantastic.
And that's what we hear.
So when does it run to? Is this the end of it?
From the 1st of Jan to the end of December.
All right, so there's plenty of time. So you come on any time through the week. My show is Thursday. You come on then.
Any Thursday show, you're welcome to come.
Yes.
Or send other people as well. I mean, Tracy can come and talk about it, or anyone who's selling the tickets.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. That would be fantastic.
Or phone in even.
If you want to get people from any of the charities, because what we usually do on the Thursday show is we talk about wheelchairs, we talk about health, we talk about disability, those sort of things.
Okay,
so obviously a lot of those things that you're talking about, the charity, the cancer, the baby unit, there's a sort of health aspect to it. So if somebody one of those charities wants to come along and talk about what they're doing,
I think
you come along as well or whatever, then and we'll make the show about that particular charity, and that might bring things into it as well. So
I think
they're always welcome.
I mean, like a charity like Sir Bobby Robson Foundation, it is huge. You know, people constantly want to do things. Probably
I did right at the beginning. I did a parasail event and raised about £2,000, and I had the pleasure of handing over to Bobby himself.
That's brilliant.
And in Bobby Robson's place, I came, what do you call, when you come down the rope, a Frenchy word.
Abseil.
Abseil, yes. I abseiled there. Before that, I abseiled about 20 years ago at Haggerston Castle.
We've all abseiled. Everybody's abseiled.
No, but they tied me badly, you know.
Oh dear.
So instead of there's Malcolm here to do a music show.
Oh.
Let him join in.
Was he coming in? Was he expected?
I don't know. He doesn't.
When I did my abseil, go and tell your story about abseil.
So I abseiled, but what was the knot was in the wrong place, so I wasn't hanging vertical.
Oh.
And my muscles were hurting, and my sons were shouting, "Flying doctor!" because they had just seen something about Australia. And I think we should be involved in these kind of things.
Oh yeah, well
it's easy to give £20, but go and do something and give £10 is more because you feel committed, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, if you're a millionaire,
any of these sort of challenges,
if you're a millionaire and put some money in, that's different from you making the effort of coming to Spice and
Yeah.
and coming right into the studio and talking about it. It's different, isn't it? Because you're contributing, you're not just throwing cash at us.
The problem I had when I did the abseil, I also did a firewalk on my hands, and the biggest problem I had is I burnt my hands more on the abseil, because you get that glove on your hands.
Yes,
don't you?
yes,
You get that asbestos glove, and it's meant as the rope slips through. But I was going so fast.
Well, if you go too fast, it doesn't matter.
So I actually burnt myself more on that than I did on the firewalk that I did on my hands. A little bit later on. Is this another event on the 30th of September? Is this another?
We've got a few events.
Tour de Bunny. Where the hell's that Bunny? On Teeland to...
Well, no doubt we'll touch it, but Bunny's
Okay, but what's your Facebook profile so anyone
Bunny's
can
one
go?
of my nicknames. It's just
Bunny.
Bunny's one of my
Onions.
nicknames, yeah. Which that's
But I like your logo. It's very beautifully done. It's Graham Onions and you as a bowler, but there are shadows behind it, like stroboscopic effect.
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
It's done very beautifully.
Enigma, which is on the Quayside, they were a massive helping hand for doing the website. They're a great company. So yeah, they're great. They're great people, really.
We should we'll get Phil Pugh to do. He's a bike man. He's just ridden across America on Route 66. One of the other people we're getting quite regularly.
Right, okay, fantastic.
I think Phil Pugh, yourself and Graham does need a meeting together. We also have in the studio a very polite, posh musician who's going to accompany us. We've got Graham Onions, the cricketer, in the studio, Malcolm.
All right.
And you're going to sing. You're going to sing to him very
So
soon.
sing cricket songs. I don't like cricket. I love it.
What? Oh, Doctor, I'm in trouble. Oh, goodness gracious me.
That's West Indian that I was singing.
Is
there,
it?
Not
I was copying
Indian.
Peter Sellers. Peter Sellers was really very good, Oh, Doctor, I'm in trouble. Goodness gracious. So you do a lot of charity events.
Yeah, I mean, all these events are. I mean, Stuart Broad and James Anderson. They wouldn't necessarily do it if it wasn't for charity. I mean, they're obviously close friends of mine, and I speak to them regularly. But they are showing it and doing it for goodness of their heart and want to raise money. So I mean, throughout the year, we've got a golf day on the 24th of September, which is fantastic. We've got this dinner on the 25th. We've got a bike ride, which I'm sure we'll talk about. That's on the 30th of September, which is 60 miles around Ponteland. Which is just a day to basically, it costs nothing, it's free, but all I'm asking is that you raise a small amount for charity, £300.
Again, it's about being involved.
Yeah, 100%.
Really being involved,
So you do it and you give. It's a day where you give 100% to charity. So all the money raised for that event goes to
in
charity.
the Bible, it says, "In the giving is the receiving." Just doing things for people is such a joy. Whether you're raising food for the kitchen for the church down here, or you're raising something for tsunami, or you're raising something for people in Syria who are freezing to death, or you're doing something for the children who got washed away in India 2 years ago.
Nepal
It just
thing
does.
with
Or
it.
Nepal,
Yes.
that was happening. Yes, I said Nepal. You said Nepal.
It's like onions and tomatoes.
Tomatoes and tomatoes.
You have to come back to onions. Why? Why can't you say tomato, tomatoes, potato,
I feel bullied,
potatoes? All right. Okay. So, what's your Facebook page so people can?
It'll just be Graham Onions. Graham Onions Benefit, which is there's obviously the website is just Graham Onions Benefit,
Graham Onions Benefit. We just type those 3 words.
So just Graham Onions Benefit, and it'll come up with the page with the whole lot of events that come up, and the charities. There's a separate page for charities if you click on, and what I was saying before about the Bobby Robson Foundation, the profile's huge, but the special care baby unit at the QE hospital is relatively small compared to it. So raising their profile for me and potentially getting them on their show is huge. It gets their name out there, and they are a fantastic small charity that I'm just trying to do everything to try and help them, really.
Okay.
Well, certainly if they want to come on, I mean, we'll probably have a couple of Thursdays before that. If they want to come on before the 25th, it might be an extra boost.
Anything you want to plug in.
Fantastic.
We've got somebody lined up on the 10th, but 17th was probably a good one. Then gives a bit of time. So if you want to pencil in the 17th, I'm away. You can come in on your own.
Okay.
All my bags are packed, I'm ready to go. I'm standing here right by your door. Already I'm so lonesome I could cry. It's early morning they don't mean a thing. Oh, kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you'll wait for me. Hold me like you've never done before. I'm living on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again. One more time now, will you leave me one more time now? Let me kiss you, hold me close, and I'll be on my way. Now's the time that I must go. Tell me now, you let me go. I will love you all the days, my dear. Well, I'm living on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again.
That was really nice. Wonderful. Graham, you were born the 9th of September, we know, and you're going to have a birthday cake with a bat sticking out. Your parents actually called Onions, I noticed, Richard and Maureen.
That's right, yes.
Yeah, so it's actually true.
That's
You come
right,
from
yeah.
a long line of onions.
That's right, yeah.
Okay. Is anyone fat in your family? Because you're very
I
slim.
can hardly say me dad, can I?
No, but what was that leek? Is a leek different from an onion? I was thinking, you know.
Well, the leek's thin, isn't it, with a big bulb at the bottom, isn't it?
We're not talking about your dad anymore, are we? You have an older sister called Christine, and you went in Bladen to St. Thomas More Catholic School.
That's right, yeah.
But you were very good in badminton.
That's right, yeah.
So what made you go to cricket? I mean, they're completely different things.
Yeah, all racket sports when I was from a very young age, from 10 to 17. I was in the county squads and international
every
squads.
sport.
Yeah.
Wow. So you're a born sportsman, really.
I was.
You
just,
really
just
are.
racket sports, tennis, like ball sports and racket sports. I just picked up pretty easily, and they just worked
it just
for me.
fitted for you.
Yeah, and I was actually better at badminton than what I was at cricket. But I made a decision. I made a decision when I was. I remember sitting down at a pub at Durham County Cricket Club.
Yes.
Very much like this. I had my mum on one side, my dad on the other, and I had Jeff Cook in front of me, and he basically just said, "Look, we want to offer you a contract here at Durham." And of
Straight
course,
in your face.
he said to me, he said, "Look, we want to offer you a contract. We think we've got a good future." And
So
of course,
where were you playing cricket? So at school days, you don't really play for long because it's obviously your school's finish in July, so it's quite a short cricket season, isn't it?
it's
So did
April
you
to
join a
September.
club?
April to September, I was with Gateshead Fell.
All right, you
club.
rated that as a young kid.
So I was in there, yeah. I'd already got in, and then from September to April, I played. It was winter sport, badminton, so that's all I did.
So I think that's a good thing for kids to get into cricket, join a club at an early age, because the schools aren't that big on cricket. I don't think. I mean, our school, I was at a grammar school, George Stevenson, and they had a concrete pitch in the middle of the rugby pitches, so it wasn't a great cricket pitch. You know? So you didn't really. You know, I guess you weren't making stars out of that. You get involved in a club and things.
So this guy, Mr. Cook, was sitting right in front of you. Here's a contract.
He did. He said, "Look, we want to offer you a contract." And of course, I was like a kid in the candy shop. Really, I was looking at my mum and dad.
How old were you at that time?
I was quite a late developer, really. So I was probably around about 17, 18 then.
Okay.
So I was a bit older. And I was actually right about the time when I was just about to apply for university. So I had my UCAS forms in front of me. I was just about to send them on. And of course I said, well,
shall I go and study? Shall I play badminton? Shall I play cricket?
And the best bit of advice that my mum and dad said is just follow your heart and do what you want to do. Because
Richard and Maureen, hats off to you. I always say to
100%,
people, what your
100%.
heart tells you lasts your lifetime.
It does.
And I keep
Absolutely.
telling the story of a doctor who I know extremely well from South India, whose 2 daughters went into medicine. 3 years later, the older of the 2 daughters, she joined dentistry, came back and said, Dad, I've joined dentistry. And father said, great. You know, where do you find fathers like that? So your parents are very unusual.
Yeah.
And I wish more parents were like that.
Well, I think I can understand from that, you know, in that situation, as if I was a parent, which I am now, I would have been thinking, well, all right, you've got to go to university, you've got to do your courses, and you've got to... But actually, my mum and dad just said, look, you go and enjoy yourself,
Wow.
go and fulfil your dream. And obviously, it's slightly easier for me to say now, you know, having spent my whole life in cricket and in my whole career in cricket, of course it's easier for me to say that, but I got given an opportunity from Jeff Cook, but also my parents, and I can't thank them enough, really.
But if your parents said, no, you have to become a doctor, you have to become a dentist.
I was never going to be a doctor. I was never going to be a doctor. But no, I was always going to be involved with sport. I wanted to be either like a physio or I mean,
anything allied with sports in some shape or form.
I was desperate to be involved with that.
Have you got plans to stay in the game when you retire? I mean, I guess you still think there's a few years left. Yeah, well, you're 32 now, so there's a few years. Probably still going at 40. So you're going to.
It's slightly different than a batter and a bowler, but
yes.
No, I'd like to play and do well until I'm 35, and then realistically, the body. I know we're going to touch on injuries and stuff,
Yes,
but I've had a fair few. But you know, the body gets old, it starts to creak a little bit. But I mean, during my 2 injuries that I've had, is I did my level 3 coaching, and I'm doing my level 4, which is the maximum you can do. And of course, if I walked away from the game, I'd always like to stay involved. And with the things that I've gone through, and the injuries, and the non-selections, and the playing for your country, and the things that I've gone on in my career, I feel as though I've got a lot to offer. So, you know, if
so
I
you don't take anything negative as negative. You say, well, what's this teaching me? Because at one stage, somebody hit 4 fours, just one after the other, and you started saying, I'm not sure I can do this.
I've probably done that a couple of times in my career, but that makes you who you are. Honestly, it does. It makes you
either
a stronger
kills you or
person.
makes you stronger. The Germans say what doesn't kill you makes you
But
stronger.
it makes you more determined, isn't it? Because you say, well, you're not going to do it again. You know, then if you do it again, then you're not going to do it again. Keep on going.
Well, I mean, from
Resilience.
one of my heroes, Darren Goff, he just said, always be yourself and just be and back yourself the whole way. And I can't that is the best bit of advice you can ever be given.
You cannot go back and bowl that previous ball again. You know, it's just like anything in life. You cannot do anything again. It's already passed. So you've got to focus on the future. And I guess it's an ideal game for that kind of thing. You know, that last ball's gone. Whatever they did, whether you got a wicket or they got a 6 or 4 or whatever, it's over.
Yeah.
You're going to your next ball and your next over and next game, etc.
And that's you know, you come to diversity and through injuries and stuff, you have to have that same mentality. You know, like throughout my injuries in 2010, I didn't think I'd ever play cricket again.
Injuries?
Well,
you went to Bangladesh and had something.
I just to paint like a bit of a picture. I know we've got a little bit of time here. So I basically 2009 I made my England debut at Lords. I basically
how did that feel? Did it feel like Billy Elliot on the stage?
I was dancing everywhere.
It is, isn't it? I mean, Lords, all these names are childhood names that even I've heard in India.
Absolutely fantastic. And but I cemented my place throughout that year. I got an England central contract, and I did everything and more that I ever thought I ever would have done in the game. But I travelled to South Africa, had a good tour, went to Bangladesh in the new year, and literally the first session I landed, I was doing some bowling, and then I went to the net, did some batting, and I thought what I thought was back spasms ended up being a lot worse, and I basically had a fracture in my spine.
Fracture?
Which is basically like a stress fracture.
Stress fracture, I was going to say, yeah.
So like a stress fracture. But it was basically the best analogy that you can say is that it was a broken polo mint. So it was too big to heal on the left hand side and it fractured on the right. So in effect it was just a wobbly bit of bone. So while I was waiting for that to heal, I had a cartilage operation on my knee. And then in September I had a pin.
So you thought I got a back injury, might as well do my knee in as well at the same time?
Pretty much.
Why waste time?
So
Oh my God.
Which sounds a bit funny, but basically in that period of I had everything, then I lost everything, but it made me a stronger person, and it made me for kind of who I am. I'm very lucky to say that because I've came out the other side. But in that period of time in 2010, I didn't think I'd play again. I generally didn't. So that's why I did my coaching.
So how did you heal, and how did you promote your healing? What made you emotionally, physically, exercise-wise, and so on? Tell me.
Well, actually, probably the doctor. And the doctor said, look...
So this is like a sports doctor?
Yeah, the surgeon. He didn't know anything about cricket. And he just said, look, I'm not sure if you'll play again. And I said, right, I'm going to prove you wrong.
So you always need people who needle you into saying, I'll show you.
I mean, he didn't know me. He's a surgeon.
He's just doing his bit.
He's just doing his job. I've actually saw him again because I've had another back operation. But he knows me as a person, and he did a fantastic job. He did as well as he could, obviously. But he didn't know if that pin was going to necessarily get me through the...
He didn't know how fast your body would heal. He didn't know your determination. He didn't know your tolerance of pain.
But when I was going through the tough periods, I thought, I'm going to keep on. I'm going to prove him wrong. And I'm going to do it. And obviously 4 or 5 years later, I've been very lucky that I've carried on playing.
So when did you actually start bowling? The injury was in 2010?
10. And I missed 16 months. I was out for 16 months. So
how
I was
does
out
that feel?
Lonely. You're
missing on your friends and the activity and...
Well, yeah, because you see your friends.
And the buzz you get out of it.
Yeah, were you doing physio and stuff every day? Were you just about an exercise?
Well, there's a period of time... well, actually, the funny story is I had the operation and I travelled home 2 days later, which... but then a week later...
Operation where? In Bangladesh?
No, this was in England. In the doctor at the Welton Hospital in right outside of Lord's Cricket Ground, actually, in London.
All right.
So I came home and that was all. It all got done for me. And I got married 2 weeks after. And that, before I knew it, I was kind of on a honeymoon, and before I knew
you don't waste time, really.
The hardest part was done.
Yeah,
I was finished. Before I knew it was 2 months had almost passed, and I was ready to get going.
Yeah.
So
positive distraction away from
it was
doing nothing.
And I am still married. Before you ask the question,
what's your wife's name? What's your wife's name?
Emma.
Hello, Emma.
She's
your healing.
She is the best person in my life. Simple as that, really. She's fantastic. She's during that period of time, she was hard. Just tell. Sorry, it was hard, and she was my driving force, really. And you know, there's a lot of things about wives and things like that, but she was great. She was
proper
brilliant.
good companion.
She was, yeah.
Support.
How did she cope when you were away and touring? I mean, that must be hard when you see cricketers. They never, you go on these tours like South Africa. You said to Australia. Have you been to Australia?
I have a few times. Yeah. Well, this is the hard thing. I mean, when you're playing for England and you haven't got a family, is that you can obviously you can ship your family out and they can go in and play and just have a good time, go on the beach and do whatever they want to do. And also it's good for the player, but there's like a period of time where you can go and when you can't go, so you can't be there for the whole time. But of course, when you've got kids, it's a lot harder.
Sorry, yeah.
I mean, when Emma was pregnant with Oliver, I missed 2 months of it because I was in India. And it was all right for me. I missed probably the hardest part.
Yeah.
You know, Emma was getting kicked and she was getting. It's
like astronauts and people like that,
So,
or people who go to work in the Gulf or something, away from the base.
People who were in the army,
army, just Navy, all that kind of thing.
Just a huge amount of respect, really, for them. For them.
But when you're talking about this, my mother and many other of that generation, my dad was in the Merchant Navy, and I've heard them ask, I've heard interviewers ask what they felt. And the answer was, well, you just do it. You put up with it.
Yeah. You don't think about it all the time.
You don't shout about it.
And you don't make a meal of it.
No, you just get on with it.
Yeah, but that generation also was different. Now we sneeze and it's on Facebook. You cough and it's on Facebook.
That's right.
And not to deviate too much, people say things on Facebook. I give them advice. Being a doctor who's interested completely, but they're not interested. They really want to moan and moan and moan.
Yeah.
But the older generation, the ones you're talking about,
they don't.
That's just sad. It's sad the way that people, younger generation, do seem to. They just want something, don't they?
Well, they want attention.
Yeah.
But if you give them the attention that is appropriate, they're not interested. Like sleep. I use apps. I mean, I've got no problem with sleep. I've got bloody good sleep. That's why I'm healthy. Sleep is one of the strongest things I have. But if you tell people, they'll find excuses not to do it. but they'll put it on Facebook. It gives them an excuse.
Yeah, it's-
Whereas the older generation, as Malcolm quite rightly points out, they just did it. Otherwise, how would they be conquering countries and all if you're
There's
concerned?
something in each generation. I'm plowing through a book, and it seems as if it's not connected to what we're talking about, but it is. I'm plowing through a book of Libby's Carthaginian War, the war with Hannibal, and what they did and put up with, as opposed to the later imperial thing. Each generation, I've noticed, when I look at some of the people, some of the young ones, I think, there's nothing there. There's no character in your face.
Yeah, by character, you mean
There's no-
discipline,
Yeah, and guts.
fortitude,
And
guts,
guts.
courage,
Yeah.
willing to die for a cause.
Well,
Those
that's
kind of
a different thing altogether. Doc.
No, but when you go to war, you could be killed.
Yeah, but a lot of people in the First World War didn't want to go to war.
Okay,
But
okay.
they thought, in those days, you were...
But instead of a
You were
war,
a coward, weren't you, if you didn't? Yeah.
Well, you were told.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I think
There was no argument about it.
I think cricket is better than a duel.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think it's important that I do actually say that there's I have been very privileged, and obviously you get paid and you represent your country, and I'm very privileged to have done what I've done. So that makes it obviously easier. Now, obviously, what we're talking about is people going to war to represent their country is in my eyes completely different, and that's total respect from my from my side.
When
No,
you
like
had a
I
choice
think-
with cricket, you could say, well, I just, go back and get a job
Yeah.
anyway.
I miss my family too much. I don't want to go. Whereas people back in those days is it's
They just went and died for their country.
Just have a chat, have a
Phone,
say
get a
hello.
signature,
Absolutely.
bring your cricket bats for signature. Yes.
No problem at all.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sick of the same old radio sound? Then you need vibrant radio. Spice up your life. Spice FM 98.8 FM.
You might think that this is music from the Mela. Actually, it is music from Graham Onions. Not to be confused with the onions we are used to cooking with, are we? A very good afternoon to all of you. This is Graham Onions in front of me, and there is Steve next to him. Welcome to the show, Graham.
Thank you very much. Thanks for
Tell
having
us
me.
about your name. How many years have you had it in the family? I mean, the genealogy type of thing.
You would think a name like mine, I would actually try and find out a little bit more detail about it, but
But doesn't everyone tell you?
I've had plenty of Mickey
take
taken
it out?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I've had enough of it. But no, I think it's obviously a unique name. It's something that I'm actually quite.
When he was playing for Bladen Cricket Club against us.
I met him the first time he's playing for Spice FM sitting
But after that, one of my colleague, right, he was playing for our club, and his wife's funeral was there, so I was very inspired. Graham was superstar that time,
Wow.
and he went to the funeral whole day. Paul,
Yeah, it was, yeah,
drinking,
Lando,
drinking,
yeah, that's right.
So
You're
when
impressed.
he approached me, I said, yeah, definitely,
Okay.
Graham.
So
because-
on Monday coming, we are doing a promotional show
right
on Spice FM,
on Spice FM.
to which you have to come. Graham obviously is there. You have to come. And Wheelchair Steve, who recognized him immediately, says, I'd like to be sitting in the show. So anyone who can fit in the studio is welcome to come and see Graham.
Yeah.
But most importantly, do please book in for Friday 25th September. What time is it, Graham?
It'll be a 7:30 start, and it'll be until
The wee hours of the
until
morning.
Late, yeah, until
Okay.
late. So it'll be a fantastic night. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I will be here at Spice FM on Monday, this Monday, if people want to come along and
Contribute,
and
chat. What?
obviously,
Hello, Masood.
if
Thank you
Hi,
for bringing
hi,
Graham here. Tell us what Graham is about to do. It's a fantastic to have an international star in Spice FM.
We are very lucky that Graham
Yes.
is here with you now.
Yes.
He served for Durham for so long,
Uh-huh.
for local community, local clubs.
And
know.
isn't he doing something of a charity thing?
That's right. That's right. It's for a good cause. So everybody, especially our Asian community businesses, everybody, young
So
kids.
on
can go-
Friday,
Friday the 25th.
25th of September.
Okay, it's a charity dinner.
So yes, it's a dinner that's got two obviously legends of the game in Jimmy Anderson and Stuart Broad, and it's basically I'm trying to raise some money for four amazing charities. The charity very close to my heart is the Special Care Baby Unit at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital.
Scuboo, yeah.
So that's I mean both my children were born into that. So
Oh, right.
it's something I really want to try and push and try and get as many people as I can.
Fantastic. So, I mean, I'll be there anyway with you at your table. So I'm
it's
so
our
glad.
player to go there, you know,
Yes.
because I know Graham. He's a lovely guy. I met first time Graham.
Yes.
In fact, I saw a cartoon. This Indian man had gone and bought a chicken, and the chicken was staring back at him. The fellow says, "Aren't you scared? I'll be killing you and cooking you." He says, "Ha! You got me. Let me see you buy a few onions. Then we'll see."
I'm a bit worried where this show's going. Is this just going to be taking the mickey out of Graham Onions again?
No.
No, it's taking it with everybody.
Well, Graham, you were born September the 9th.
That's right.
So your
yeah.
birthday is coming up.
Coming up soon, yeah.
Aha.
So I know that you've obviously got a cake for me. That's
Yeah,
coming up,
with the bat sticking out of it.
Yeah.
Or a cake shaped like a ball. In fact, why don't you do it on the 25th? What's happening on the 25th? Steve, read it out.
Well, I got to know about this event last week, and one of the reasons the doc invited me in today, it's Graham's benefit year. A lot of cricketers have a benefit year moving towards the twilight, let's call it.
Oh, yeah,
I'm sure there's a few years left in your year.
You're like Alan Shearer going to sell bats and t-shirts and
That's
all
what
that.
it
So
is,
you have a kind
Oh.
of benefit year and lots of different events for different charities, don't you? And how
Yeah,
do you
we-
make a few quid yourself?
Yeah, we
with that?
do.
Is
I
that
mean,
the idea?
basically over the course of the year, I mean, I've been very proud and proud of. I mean, obviously when I was a kid and growing up, and you know what kids are like, they kind of they do take the mickey a little bit, but you know, I'm used to it now, and
Yes.
I suppose I've got to pass it on to my kids now. And
Well, how do you...
Were you called cheese hand at school?
oh, all the time, yeah, cheesing and pickled and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, it's amazing. But no, it's a name that thankfully I've done quite well with in the cricket and
Anything happens
I
to
can
you,
see-
they make a joke out of
When
it.
you retire, there'll be the brand is there to do all sorts. They'll have onions T-shirts. They'll have onions.
Yes.
Whatever you want to do.
Yes.
You know.
Well, at
Onions,
the moment,
cricket bats,
at the
balls.
moment in India, onions have become very expensive for whatever reason.
Yes.
Monsoon, this, that, hoarding, black marketing. You know what we Indians are up to. So they're sending 1,000 tons of onion every single day from Afghanistan through Pakistan through Wagah border into India.
Onions brings peace to the world.
Yes.
see that's a headline.
And yes, onion brings peace to the world.
That's it.
And the other things, politics and religion brings tears to our eyes. It should be the other way around. Politics and at least religion should bring smiles on our faces.